welcome to Functional Training. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to start off here with some lower body movements to get warmed up. So make sure you have space all around you. We're going to start with a pivot lunge and a reach just to get the hips loosened up. So make sure, you have space all around. And what we're going to do is start by facing this way. Big exaggerated step. What you're going to do is you're going to lunge about 3/4 of the way down, so don't touch the knee to the floor. So go here, and then you're going to pivot your feet and go back down on the other side, and then pivot and go back down. Okay, so those feet are just turning. You're shifting your weight. You're not lifting the feet up off the ground, and you're going down. Okay, now we add in the reach, which will really actually pull that hip flexor a little bit more. So if your left knee is in front, you're going to take your right hand, and as you're going down, you're going to reach over your body. And then the other side, pivot, right knee is in front. Now my left arm is going to be reaching over top. Okay? And from this side, you're here, down, and reach. Okay? And then you pivot 180 degrees, down, and reach. So let's keep that going. Reaching right over your body, keeping your balance. As you know, that balance will come in handy after for some of our movements. We'll go one more here, down and pull, bringing it back up. Great. Okay, and now we're just going to do a good morning's stretch. So hinge at the hip. So you're here. What you're going to do, hands on your waist, on your hips. Try to keep your legs straight. Come down to about 90 degrees and then up a little faster. So nice and slow on the way down, stretching the hamstrings, and then a little quicker on the way up. Do a 3 and 1 count. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1. 1, 2, 3, and 1. Just a few more of those. Last one. And up. Beautiful. Okay, down to the floor. Thoracic stretch in a kneeling position, half kneeling. So right hand goes on the inside of that leg. Rotate, point to the ceiling, and hold. Bring the left hand down and place it and exchange the other hand. And then rotate the opposite direction, pointing straight up as high as you can. Try to keep your knee in, close tight to the arm so it doesn't come out. And then coming back up to relax. Switching sides. Okay, so left hand besides the left foot. And then rotate with the right arm, pointing straight up. And bringing the other hand down, switching them. And back down. Great. And we're going to stay in this position here. Okay. And we're going to do a bird dog exercise. So what we like to do is start off by being more mindful of the movement. So really focusing on the balance. So make sure that your hips are level, fully extending the limbs, engaging the core, and natural breathing. Okay, before we start going in and out with repetitions, you want to make sure you have that good form first. So 4-point position, hands and knees. Hands should be underneath your shoulders, so not way up here and not by your knees, just kind of underneath your shoulders. Kick out your left leg and your opposite, so your right arm straight ahead. Okay, now before we start doing any movements, make sure that you're lifting your leg nice and high because the gravity will pull it down and you'll become a little bit more fatigued and you'll notice that foot will touch the floor. So you want to make sure that's nowhere near the floor. So it's up nice and high. You're engaging the glutes. And now you're reaching forward with the arm and neutral spine. So head down a little bit, looking straight ahead, holding that position. nice and tight, fully engaged, fully extended with the limbs. Now we can start going in and out. You've got the form, here we go. So in to the middle, elbow to the knee, and extend. Each time you extend, hold for about 2 seconds. So in and out, extend and hold. So you're not doing this, right? Which is basically pointless. Here, fully extend. We're breathing. We'll go one more. And relax. Back to the middle. Take a deep breath. Okay, back into the 4-point position. Now we're doing the opposite. So now it's our right leg extended back and our left arm extended forward. Find your groove here. So make sure you lift your foot up nice and high. Be aware of that so it's not touching the floor. Okay. Extending your arm all the way out. Engage your glutes. Engage the core. Head down but looking forward. Ready and go. So middle, out, squeeze and hold. 2, 3, in and out. Extend, hold. 2, 3. Again, keep going. 2 more. Last one. And bring it down. Deep breath. So if you haven't noticed, you'll find that much more effective than performing it quicker for higher repetitions. So the whole idea is there as a warm-up is we're engaging those muscles. The glutes, the core, the shoulders, lower body, hip range of motion, mobilization, a bit of everything. And you really focus, be more mindful of those movements so you're not just going through the motions. Okay? Okay, we're gonna stand up, grab a quick drink of water, and then we're gonna use, probably gonna need a couple weights nearby, but not for the first exercise, just have them handy. Okay, so now that we're warmed up, loosened up the lower body a bit here, we're gonna do our 3-point lunges. We're gonna start with the first few repetitions in the intermediate mode, so less balance involved, and then we're going to, after the first few repetitions, increase to the more advanced mode, which is raising the knee without bringing it back to the middle, so a lot more balance, dynamic balance, which is a huge component to the functional training. Okay, so just to start off, again, forward lunge, 3/4 of the way down, stepping back to the middle, and then a side lunge, stepping back to the middle, and then a big step behind you, and then back to the middle. Okay, we're doing this all on the same side. So that left foot is planted on the floor the whole time, will not move. Again. 3. One more. Okay, switching sides. Right foot planted, left foot in motion, 3/4 range of motion. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Again. 2 more. Last one. And done. Okay. Now, same concept, but we're raising the knee each time. So for all 3 points, you're going forward. On your way back, the push back, you're going to raise your knee up without touching it to the floor, right into the lateral lunge. Raise without touching it. This is the dynamic balance. Go right back into the reverse lunge and then straight up. Okay, so and then repeat. All right, here we go. We have 3 each. And we're off. So forward, raise, sideways, raise. That's the hard one. Reverse, raise, and again. 1, 2, 3. Again. 3. And done. Beautiful. Other side, here we go. One. 2. Oh. Last one. And done. Okay, walk it off. Okay, so next up, you're going to need your weights if you have some dumbbells or hand weights. Okay, we're going to get our upper body more involved here with this one. But as usual, we're always doing total body, incorporating multiple components at once. So we'll be doing obviously a lot of balance with the upper body. So we're going to do a single-legged bent over row. And what I want you to try to do is progress how low to the ground you are. So if I'm standing here, it's a little bit easier. As soon as I pivot forward, hinge forward, and I kick out that back leg, it becomes much more difficult to balance. So you can try with the knee bent like this. And then if you have to, touch the floor to reset your balance. And eventually, as you get better, you can kick out that back leg to perform the reps. Okay, so you can really notice your progression as you're doing it. Okay, so we're going to do 10 each leg. And you're not bringing the knee in and out. It's not a hinge movement. It's isometric with the lower body, so static. But the upper body is doing the movements. Okay, so let's start off with our right foot planted. Start off easy, so maybe our foot here. Perform a few repetitions. Try to progress. So you kick out that back leg and lift it as high as you can. Nice and steady. Squeeze the shoulder blades together while performing the row. Exhale on the pull. And back. Okay, now we're going to switch sides. So left foot planted, right foot kicking back. Start off a bit more simple, and then try to extend that leg out. And done. Excellent. Okay, that one's a burner for sure. Drop the weights down. Let's take a 30-second break. Try to stay moving around. Okay, now we're hitting the floor. On your knees, lean back. 3 deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Ready? Okay, and on the floor, we're going to do the mountain climber variation. So a little bit of a transition from the mountain climber to the break dancer that we've done before. So it's a lateral kicking of the feet as opposed to driving the knees in and out, the traditional mountain climber, which really heavily relies on the hip flexors and can be overused a bit there. So again, instead of driving the knees forwards and backwards in and out, we're here and we're going left to right in a lateral mountain climber. So it's the same concept, but less relying on those hip flexors. So you're working other areas of the glutes and the hips, and obviously increasing the heart rate, okay? All right, so here we go. We're gonna go for 20 altogether. So ready, here, leg to the side, and then side to side. Here we go. And done. Excellent, okay. Slowly stand up. Quick little water break. Okay, we need one weight. Go ahead and grab one hand weight. Okay, so we're gonna do our torso rotation. So this is one of many different variations of the wood chop that we do. And again, the whole idea is to make sure when you're engaging your core in a movement pattern that you're not focusing on your shoulders. It's not the shoulders doing the rotation, it's the torso. So all that power stems from the hips up into the torso. Okay, any kind of sport, swimming, baseball, hockey, golf, tennis, all torso rotation, less relying on shoulders, okay? So with a few exceptions, a lot of those athletes that I mentioned, besides some of the baseball players, golfers, tennis players, those type of athletes, racket sports that do a lot of rotations, they're not known for giant shoulders, okay? If anything, it's the opposite. And they're really slender, lean, but not overly muscular. And they're obviously hitting that ball, you know, over 150 miles an hour on a serve or something. And they're not relying on their shoulder to do that, okay? So it's all coming from here. Okay, so what we're gonna do for our wood chop is half range of motion with the lower body. So you're gonna drive down, and then when you rotate up, you're gonna stay in a semi-squat position. We've done these before. So it's down, and then up into that squat. Okay, so down, rotate, and then you're gonna alternate, okay? And we're gonna try to do 20 altogether, all right? So here we go. So down, up, down, up. Almost there. And done. Okay. I want to get the heart rate up for sure. Drop the weight down, active recovery, stay moving. Okay, back down to the floor. And yep, 3 deep breaths. Ready? Great, okay. Again, some more upper body and core. So we're gonna do our plank from a push-up position, so hands instead of elbows. And we're gonna involve some movement, okay? So again, the idea, other than distracting you and keeping you busy for that 30 seconds to a minute, is to incorporate some kind of movement, and will also challenge you to keep the hips level, which is going to be challenging, because when your upper body is moving, the tendency is to tip the hips, and you want to keep them nice and level. Okay, so have a wider base, so your feet can't be together, have them a little bit separated apart, and we're going to be in that plank push-up position here. And what I want you to do is you're going to tap your shoulder with your other hand. Okay, so let's keep that going. Tap down, tap down. Try to keep your body nice and still. Obviously, there will be movement. Try to limit it so that you're not rotating too much. And 2, 1, drop it down. Just shake off the shoulders and the arms. We're going to head into our cool down here shortly. Okay, perfect. So let's start with our hip flexor stretch. So kneeling position, half kneeling, 90-degree angles with your knees. Rotate your body, lean forward, place the opposite arm. So if it's the right knee, left arm, outside the leg, lean forward and hold this position. Okay, lean back, release the stretch. And we're going to do one more time. A little bit further forward. Lean back a bit, arm placed over top. Rotate and hold. Push back, release the stretch. Other side. 90-degree angles. Okay. Right arm across the body, leaning forward. Feeling that stretch on the opposite side, right here in that hip flexor. Okay, bringing it back to the middle, reset. Lift the foot, place it further forward, and go down a little bit more. Back to the middle, and relax. Great. Okay, keeping with this position on the knees, hands down, just like we did our bird dog. We get beginning position is 4-point position. We're gonna do our cat-cow stretch. Okay, so remember you're arcing the back nice and high, cat stretch, and then sinking down. Okay, increasing the curvature of the lower lumbar spine there, and then up. And remember, you're not holding your breath, and you're not sucking in your stomach. You're just engaging the abdominals when you do the cat stretch. And then relaxing on the way down. And engage. And relax. And we'll go one more. And down. Great. Okay, now we're going to do our pigeon stretch, pigeon pose. So one leg in front, bent. Rest your weight down on the floor. And then you're going to try to extend the back leg as much as you can. And then go up on top. So you're over top of your front leg. And just plant your hands down where it's comfortable. And you should feel that stretch along the glutes there. Now sit down on that side and hold it right here. What I want you to do is bring both hands to the other side and lean back. A bit more of a hip flexor stretch here. Adductors on that opposite side. And relax. Now other side is bent in front. Extend the back leg. Come up on top over the front leg. Prop yourself up. lean back and feel that pull on the outside. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Drop the weight down. And remember, other arms on this side. And then you're leaning back just enough where you feel a bit in the adductors, the hip flexors as well. Okay, and bringing both legs in. And we're going to do another groin stretch for the adductors here, placing the elbows on the knees, pushing down slightly, but not too much. Try to have a nice upright posture here. Bring the heart rate down, steady breathing. This is the cool down. We're all done from here. It's a good workout, everyone. Okay, one leg in front for a hurdler stretch. So pointing the toe to the ceiling, don't grab the toe, just holding this position here. Leaning forward a bit if you want to, feel a bit more under the leg and the hamstrings, upper calves. And switching sides. Again, placing that elbow on the leg if you want for a bit of pressure. Pointing your toes to the ceiling, leaning forward. And done. Okay. All right, everyone. That's it. Thanks for joining today's functional training session. And we hope to see you guys next week. Enjoy the rest of the week. Have a great weekend. Stay safe and be well.